The Culture Pop Podcast is brought to you by the law offices of Jacob Emrani.
Accident or injury, call Jacob Emrani. Call Jacob.
Hey, it's Mase. If you or a friend or loved one is injured in an accident, the first person you should call is my friend Jacob. When I did this, Jacob was great. He helped me by talking through the next steps, which really put my mind at ease. When you're injured in an accident, you got to have an expert. That's why you call Jacob, just like I did. Call Jacob, 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB, or visit calljacob.com.
Call Jacob.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Culture Pop Podcast. I'm Steve Mason, along with Sue Kalinsky. This is the show where we talk about everything happening in the world of pop culture. Sue Ballou, it's been a while. I think it's been 6 weeks, 2 months, something like that since we've spoken. You've been all over the world.
I have. I've been, went to Portugal for 2 weeks.
How was that?
And, oh, man, it was great.
Where were you, like at the beach?
We only did a little beach thing at the very, very end. The second to last day, we drove to this beach. The way we had planned the trip, because we didn't think the weather was going to be as nice as it was. And it ended up being like high 70s, 80.
Nice.
So we spent the first 3 days in Lisbon, and that was great. There's all these different sections. There's like 3 different sections to the city, or four different sections, actually. So we went to each section. We took this ride. It's called a tuk-tuk. It looks like a golf cart.
Okay.
And everything in Lisbon and Porto, which is the town next to it, it's like a smaller Lisbon.
Okay.
It's like San Francisco on steroids. It is so hilly.
Oh, really?
Just everywhere you go, it's just insane. You walk so much. We ate great food. We took a wine and food tasting tour.
So you didn't go there to necessarily see if you could expat there, because we've talked about expatting, and Portugal is a very, very popular place for Americans to expat because it's relatively inexpensive.
True. In some areas, like an old acting teacher of mine moved to the Algarve like 5 years ago.
Okay.
And that's one section we didn't go. And when he finds out I was there and I
didn't go there?
I didn't go there because we had 2 weeks and we mapped it out so perfect that we weren't packing and unpacking too much.
Yeah.
So we spent the right amount of days in every place. And then the last place we stayed was called the Alentejo, which is farm and wine country.
Right.
And that was maybe 2.5 hours from where he was, but it just didn't fit into the trip. I mean, it would have just changed the whole vibe of relaxing. 2 of the places we stayed at, we went to this place called the Douro Valley. That was the second to last place. The most beautiful hotel I've ever been in my life. It was right on the river.
Really?
And the view was insane. And it had a beautiful pool. That place and the last place both had amazing pools where you could actually swim laps.
Excellent.
So that was great.
Yeah.
And ate great food, met great people. It was a really, really beautiful, beautiful trip.
That's great.
And the Portuguese are really, really lovely people.
How long did you stay?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh, that's nice. 2-week break from everything. That sounds good. I've not actually I've taken one show off since like middle of August, and I'm just worn out.
It always seems to me that you're going away.
I know. Well, it's because there are certain times a year where I'm working and certain times a year when it's good to take a vacation. It's never good to take a vacation during football season. So I work all the way football season. Like Thanksgiving will be my first day off since, the middle of August. But if you talk to me in the summertime, I'm gone a lot. In the springtime, I'm gone a lot, but never, ever in the fall. So I'm at that worn out stage. Worn out. But it'll be fine. I can make it a couple of more weeks. So you went to Sphere.
Yes.
Tell me.
I tell you, everybody has to go there in their lifetime, because I try to explain it to people. I send them videos and pictures, and it's like, you know what? This is useless. You just have to go.
Yes.
It was like this surreal, magical place that makes me think that it's going to be really hard to see like a regular concert.
Yeah,
now.
no, it's true. It's true. It is so. The venue is the star, and I love the Eagles, and the Eagles I saw there were great, and it's a great show and all that stuff. But the venue is just like, and then we're friends with Deacon Fry, who's Glenn's son, who's in the band, and I asked him one time because there's one point where he's doing Peaceful, Easy Feeling, and he's like 3 stories high. And I'm like, have you ever turned around and looked at He said, I would fall over. I would just fall right over. I just think the venue is spectacular. I've gotten there. I was there for U2. I was there for the Eagles. I would see anybody there just because it's so spectacular to look at.
And thanks to you, we got luxury suite seats.
Yeah, how was that?
Oh, God. Did you sit in those seats? You must have.
I did.
It was amazing. I mean, great food.
Yep.
And Amy Grant was in our suite.
Oh, was she really? That's what's his name's wife? Not Toby Keith. Who am I? Vince Gill.
No, Vince Gill's wife.
Yeah, Vince Gill.
I didn't even realize he's been in the band since 2017
and is so good.
Oh my God! I mean, they sound as good as they sounded like 50 years ago.
Yeah,
and Deacon sounds and looks just like his father. I mean, to the sunglasses that he has on top of his head.
Yeah.
He looks just like his dad. And the thing that I was thinking about, I wrote that piece because I went to Game 7.
Yes.
Was the night I went. And
which is crazy.
Which was crazy because I got there the night before, and we went to the Comedy Cellar to see my friend Marcone, who's the house MC, and we got to see the game because we went to a later show. So we saw most of the game in our hotel room, and then I had it on my phone going down the elevator into where the restaurant was, and there was a TV there, so I watched the rest of it on the TV. And then the next night was the show.
Game 7 and the show.
And the show. So again, started watching it in the hotel, listening to it in the Uber, standing on line waiting to get in, watching. I wasn't able to get it on my phone. It was so frustrating. So I heard it through Sirius. And then we were the first ones at the suite, and the place started to fill up, and we were still the only ones. We were like, "Are we going to be the only people in the suite?"
Well, it's the Eagles' private suite.
Yeah. So then all the friends and family, whatever, started coming in, and so I met Amy Grant, and she was so cool.
I'm sure.
And she was so taken with like how much I was into the game. Like, she was like, oh my gosh, she says, you really into baseball? I said, yes, I am. And then, you read the piece that I wrote. But
you wrote a great piece.
It was like, and you put it perfectly, because it was basically my experience of watching the game and then following the show. And you said, and because I said that because they didn't have an opening act, it felt like the World Series was their opening act.
Yeah.
And you said that, that the Eagles were the soundtrack to Game 7.
Exactly. I'll tell you, Sue, I've covered, multiple World Series. I was in Dallas in 2020 when the COVID year, when the Dodgers won. I covered the series where they beat the Yankees 4-1. There was nothing like this postseason run. There was nothing like it. And I'll tell you what, I saw the single greatest performance ever by an athlete.
Yeah. Yep. Game 4.
Man, oh man. 3 home runs, 10 strike. Well, yeah, there were 2 games, right? There was the 3 home run, 10 strikeout, 6 shutout innings game. And then there was the 17 total bases game in the 18 inning one. I was there for the entire 18 inning one. Freddie's got a knack for the walk-off, captain walk-off. It was just an unbelievable series. And then I went to Game 7 at Cosm. So I'm like surrounded by, Cosm is like, Cosm's like a mini sphere. Yeah, it's a mini sphere. They hate this, by the way. They don't like the comparison, but it is like a sphere. And so you're surrounded by the game, and fans are like, people are doing, let's go Dodgers. Like, they're cheering like they're at the game. 7th inning stretch. Everybody's like arm in arm, take me out to the ball game, complete strangers. And then, of course, when Miguel Rojas hits the home run, everybody's hugging. I'm doing a show with Miguel Rojas on Friday, Miggy Rowe. I'm super excited about. And then Will Smith with the walk-off and, with the home run, and then Yoshi Yamamoto. I mean, just incredible.
This is when you talk about managers' decisions and the fact that Roberts put in
Andy
Rojas.
Rojas into the lineup.
Rojas, and then put Paz in, took Paz out, put him back in for defense. I mean, those moves were like so brilliant. It obviously it could have gone either way, but when it works, oh my God!
Well, I'll tell you, the unsung hero of this, and he's already now signed with the San Francisco Giants, is Justin Dean. So Game 6, that ball gets stuck in the wall. And, I've talked to Travis Rogers, who played a lot of baseball, said if he would have just grabbed that and thrown it in, that would have been it. It would have been a live ball. Game. It would have been the end of the game. But he had the good sense to stand there and just hold his arms up like, this is stuck. This is stuck. I think there should be a statue at Dodger Stadium, a Justin Dean statue, just going like this. It's stuck. Because if he would have picked it up, it would have been over. They would have lost the game.
And those plays at the plate, you know?
Oh, the Will Smith play. I mean, honestly, I would have just been so pissed off if the World Series ended on a replay. That would have been awful. But he did get his foot in there in time.
Well, what about Kiki Hernandez?
Oh,
that throw, that heads-up throw, the running catch throw, and Rojas stayed on. That wasn't a clean throw either.
No, it was not.
I mean, oh my God.
What an amazing World Series.
Yeah, it was so exciting. It was definitely the best World Series. And look, I lived through, well, I was obviously alive, but the 86 series, World Series, because not only was the World Series amazing, but the playoffs on both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, that Angels.
That was the Buckner-Mookie game, right?
That was the Buckner. But the pennant series, with Game 6 with the Angels and the Red Sox.
Right.
With the Donnie Moore game.
Yeah.
And, the ball going off, I forget the outfielder's name. It went off his glove. Yep. And it went for a home run, and then he hit the game-winning home run.
Yeah, incredible.
So, it was.
There's
great.
nothing quite like baseball postseason. I mean, it's like hang on every pitch. There's so much fun afterwards. Like on the radio, it's so much fun to dissect them. And this decision could have been made. And what if he had done that? And I would have done this. And you get that from baseball. Nobody does that with football. I would have positioned this guy. No, baseball is one of those ones that we can all look at and say, I would have tried a little something different there.
Right.
Or
exactly.
That was exactly the right thing to do. By the way, I had Sean McVay on my show today.
Cool.
I explained to Sean, it's Aaron Donald bobblehead day at SoFi on Sunday. And I told him that I always have the Sean McVay bobblehead on my bookcase when we're doing the show. And he said, you got it. I said, it's you and Shohei. He said, one of those things does not belong. And I disagreed with him. They are both elite. So I want to do some movie reviews. We've been seeing movies and we haven't had a chance to talk about them. And we have selected 4 movies. And these are all current, all in theaters or in streaming. The first one is One Battle After Another from Paul Thomas Anderson. Tells the story of Bob Ferguson, played by Leonardo DiCaprio. He spent 16 years living with weed and booze and paranoia, and he's being pursued by Sean Penn's character, Colonel Stephen J. Lockjaw. And he's part of a secret white supremacist organization. The movie is... So I sold one on this movie because it's not like a dark movie. It's actually really funny. It's got a little heist to it. It's got a thriller aspect to it. It's a chase movie. It's about a quirky gang of revolutionaries. I absolutely love this movie. Where do you come down on One Battle After Another?
I agree. I think this is my favorite Thomas Anderson. Thomas Anderson. This is my favorite film of his up to date. And I've loved so many of his movies. And a lot of it for the reason that you just said. There were moments where there was like a fine line, especially with Sean Penn's character, where Sean Penn's character could have been like a joke, but he just stayed right on the line of being that creepy, odd. You know, then there was that side of him where, being, finding out that he was the father of the daughter.
Of Willa, yeah.
So there was like a lot of complexity in his character. I thought it was one of Leonardo's best roles.
Me too. I love this version of Leonardo. That he's sort of rumpled and crazy and funny and loose. And I mean, it's so much. It's very different from other Leonardo stuff. He looks unkempt. I would say that word, unkempt. And you're not used to seeing Leonardo DiCaprio that way. I think, honestly, the Oscar race will come down to Leonardo DiCaprio and Timothée Chalamet. We'll talk about his movie at a future date. But I thought really memorable stuff. If you were to think of Paul Thomas Anderson's entire career, you think this is your favorite of his?
Mm-hmm.
You do. I still like Boogie Nights the best. Boogie Nights, for me, has got everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's got period. It's got an unbelievable ensemble cast. It's funny. It's sad. It's all that stuff. And he does a great job, Paul Thomas Anderson, and you pointed this out, of sort of mixing layers. There's like a comedy layer, and there's a drama, and there's a thriller, and it's all that stuff at once. And I just think he is brilliant at that. It is his year to win the Oscar. He's going to win Best Director for this movie. I think it is terrific. By the way, Leo, in my notes here, Leo channeling Jeff Bridges, the dude from The Big Lebowski. There is definitely an element of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Sean Penn, funny, over the top, intense, creepy, bad guy. I'll tell you who's Chase Infinity, who plays Willa. She almost steals the entire movie from those guys. She is so good.
She is so great. And she was just, the fact that she was the daughter, and, because the actress who played her mother, Teyana Taylor,
yes,
she was phenomenal.
Amazing.
I mean, from this, and you talk about just the pace of the movie, too. I mean, from the start, like, it was so intense. The intensity of the movie never, ever stopped.
Yes.
It started where a lot of movies end. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was and the score was amazing. There were moments
was amazing.
Where it was
absolutely.
just a note. They just played a note, and it was a piercing note for the longest time. He just. Yeah, I mean, he just didn't miss a trick in this film.
Yeah, I absolutely love the movie. Not my favorite of the year, but I love the movie. One battle after another in theaters now. So we also watched John Candy, I Like Me, streaming on Prime. This movie about John Candy, the life of John Candy, has played at a bunch of different film festivals. It's from director Colin Hanks and producer Ryan Reynolds, and it's a movie about the life and times of actor John Candy, who's just an absolute comedy legend.
There's so much I didn't know about him, and that's why I love documentaries.
Oh yeah.
There was a lot of like poignancy. There was a lot of sadness to me about him. And this is something that I'm sure, he's not the only actor who's been through this. I look at someone like Chris Farley.
Right.
I look at someone like Jonah Hill. I mean, actors who were overweight, and Jonah Hill lost a lot of weight and still continued to do his acting. But with John Candy, I mean, they basically encouraged him to stay overweight.
Right.
And that was a contributing factor to his death. So
I am fascinated by this world of Canadian comedy. Eugene Levy, Andrea Martin, Catherine O'Hara, Gilda Radner, Martin Short, Dave Thomas, Dan Aykroyd, all, basically they're the founding members of Second City in Toronto. And I grew up watching SCTV. I mean, I absolutely loved that show. It was subversive. I thought it was interesting. They said they couldn't do timely sketches because they never knew when the shows were going to air. It was in syndication, and nobody knew. So you couldn't do like a bit about the president because it's out of date. So they created these characters that are really enduring. Johnny LaRue was one of the John Candy characters, kind of a lounge lizard, hustler, gold chains, Dr. Tongue, the cheesy horror movies, when 3D, fake 3D. I mean, there's so much in here. And I thought, you look at the people they talked to for this movie. Tom Hanks, of course, from Splash, Bill Murray from Stripes, Mel Brooks. We forget about Spaceballs sometimes. John Hughes, who passed away, Macaulay Culkin talking about Uncle Buck. This is the crazy thing. John Candy's father died during his 5th birthday party. And they spent a lot of time on John Candy being a dad. And at one point in the film, somebody, I forget who says it, he became the father he always wanted, which I thought was just really sweet. Really sweet.
Yeah. Well, when the film opened up and you saw his son, I mean, you had to do a double take. He looks exactly like him. And I was thinking, I don't know what his career is, and I don't know whether he's an actor, but I think of, Ice Cube and O'Shea. And O'Shea. And if they do a movie on his life, he would be perfect.
He would be the one to play it.
If he has the chops.
Yeah. And I would say, what is your favorite John Candy movie?
Well, it's got to be Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
It is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, right?
I mean, absolutely.
When I came to LA in 1987, I was going to work in film production and TV production. I took a shot at it. And the first thing I wanted to go to see was a movie at the Mann Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard. And it was Planes, Trains, Automobiles. So I remember it so clearly to this day. And I think he did his best acting in that movie. There's this moment near the end of the movie where Steve Martin's character, Neil, just dresses John Candy's character down, Del, dresses him down in the meanest way possible. And every time you think he's done, Catherine O'Hara describes this, he gets meaner. And then he gets even meaner. And you can watch John Candy's face and you can see how heartbreaking this is. And then John Candy's character, Del, says, "I like me." And I'm like, that's where the title from the doc comes from. I like me. And it's a great moment for him in his acting career because he was both big and funny, but also subtle and an actor. And so Planes, Trains, Automobiles, my absolute favorite of his movies.
Yeah, it was great.
Wonderful.
And
I was going to say, wonderful film.
And just a lovely person. I mean, like you said, all the people that spoke about him. And Bill Murray, I mean, when he went on describing his relationship with him.
Yes.
Oh, God. I mean, it was just priceless.
So funny.
Yeah.
So John Candy, I Like Me is streaming on Prime. Definitely check that out. All right. Let's go on to Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. It is in theaters right now. Jeremy Allen White as Bruce Springsteen. Sue, what do you think?
Surprisingly, I really enjoyed this movie. I didn't think I was going to. I'm always a little skeptical when an actor, and even with, the Bob Dylan movie, I'm always a little skeptical when an actor is playing this well-known, iconic, bigger than life person, and then they're also singing in the film. I thought the story was great. I thought the script was so good. I just love this slice of life of what was happening at this specific time in his life with making the album Nebraska and everything that it entailed from the inception to it and the change of his music. He decided to take a turn into a darker side of himself, which he never showed anybody. And so it was the writing of it, the recording of it, and how he wanted to use the real and rawness of how it sounded in his house.
Yep.
And when they went into the studio and it was a little too shiny, he said, this isn't working. I don't want that. And how he got his way and then the distribution of it and everything that went along with it.
Sure.
I thought it was just a tremendous story. And the insight into his personal life and his struggles with depression, I had no idea of that.
So I think Jeremy Allen White is amazing in this role. He doesn't look like Springsteen, but he pulls off the singing, and he captures the essence of the guy. Beyond that, the movie felt really flat for me. I mean, he was, as you said, he was making Nebraska. It's an amazing album, but it's not like fun, upbeat, it's not like fun Bruce Springsteen. And it's really a movie more about a tortured artist than anything. And I thought Jeremy Strong really good as his manager. But we've seen some musical biopics in the last few years. Taron Egerton as Elton John. In Rocketman, Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury. You mentioned Timothée Chalamet as Dylan. All those movies captured me in a way that this one didn't. And I didn't really get the emotional through line of his relationship with I think she was a waitress, right?
Yeah, Faye. And I read about it, and she was not a real person in his life. She was a combination, a composite of women in his life, and that was supposed to basically show his struggles with love and commitment and all of that. And, that was one thing that kind of pissed me off, because when you take this specific person who had such a big role and seemingly in his life, like life changing, he's making these decisions, and you're sucked in by the emotion behind, what she was going through and his struggles. That was one thing that really pissed me off about the film.
You know what it reminded me? The movie that came to mind when I think about this one is Pollock, the movie Pollock, with Ed Harris as Jackson Pollock and Marcia Gay Harden as his wife. It's more about it's really a movie about depression, and being that tortured artist. And I just want to point out, this is kind of Jeremy Allen White, right? This is his thing. I think The Bear is about mental illness. I think the show The Bear is about mental illness. I think this one also is about, depression and anxiety. And for me, again, I love what Jeremy Allen White did. I thought, got the singing and all that stuff. And I'm sure he'll be nominated for an Oscar, and he deserves it. But the movie, for a guy who's brought so much rock and roll joy to the world, I'm just disappointed it's a downer of a movie.
Well, it could have only have been a downer because they only dealt with this aspect of his life.
Right. Right.
So, I think it's true to, what he was going through at the time, regardless of that flaw of it only being that woman in his life. But that was the film.
Yeah, my thought is, I love when they do a biopic and it's a slice of life. I just would have picked a different slice.
Okay.
I
don't know even if a different slice of life would have been maybe as compelling.
Maybe this is that's
probably why they chose this, because they thought this was the most compelling story, probably more multi-dimensional, than just a guy kind of, everything is kind of going his way,
we're kind of doing Siskel and Ebert here. I'm definitely, again, love Jeremy Allen White. The movie did not work for me. You loved it.
I also loved it. I really liked it, and I think because I went in with the lowest of expectations.
Oh, really?
I like I said in the beginning, I did not think I was going to like this movie. And it's funny because when I was leaving the theater, there was a guy walking behind me, and he stopped at the ticket taker desk, and he just mentioned how much he liked the movie. And I looked at him and I said, yeah, and we both had the same feeling, that we really went in it feeling very negatively about it and how we were going to hate it.
Right.
And we were pleasantly surprised that,
there you go,
that we enjoyed it as much as we did.
Okay, good. Good. That movie is Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, is in theaters right now. And then the last one, cannot wait. Begonia. It is in theaters. It's the wildest movie of the year. Written and directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, the same guy who gave us The Lobster and The Favorite and Poor Things. You first.
Okay. It was a great movie. Okay.
Yeah.
It was beautifully acted. The story was completely bonkers.
Yep.
Based on a a Korean film that was made years ago. I left there so depressed.
Depressed?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, it ends with, by the way, if you're watching this is the big spoiler. So turn it off everybody's dead at the end of it.
Everybody's dead. So I left depressed, and I think because of, and I'm not going to get political, but just the state of the world right now.
Yeah.
And, it's very interesting. I saw someone was doing a review about it, and they were talking about the writer, Will Tracy. And he was saying that when he was writing the film, he used a lot of what he's been feeling himself about what's going on, like what is real, what's not real.
Sure.
Like there's no sense of democracy. And he said that he's not a conspiracy theorist, but he said that it's like he just doesn't trust everybody who's telling us things.
Yes.
He doesn't trust. So, and I think because of the nature of this film, that was another reason why it made me very depressed.
Right. Well, it's about a guy played by Jesse Plemons who believes that the CEO of a biotech company is an alien. That's Emma Stone. Did you see the twist coming?
It's funny when it happened.
Yeah.
I started to think about something that struck me earlier in the film.
Okay.
The way she spoke to her assistant when she came up with the idea that everybody should leave early.
Right.
And then she was like, but maybe they shouldn't. Well, maybe if they had to leave
early unless you have work to do.
Unless you have work to do. And it just seemed like, is she just a little nutty because she's this, brilliant woman who has this pharmaceutical company? It kind of reminded me of when we were reviewing Sugar, that series.
Yes, sure.
And it was like, what is going on with this guy? There's something off. And so I felt that there was something off with her.
Yep.
And I kind of felt like, well, maybe she has to be an alien.
Right, right.
She just has to be.
My jaw, I was like, it was a holy fuck moment. It's like, holy fuck, she was an alien all along? I had no fucking idea. I did not see it coming. And what's interesting is, so people are in this conspiratorial mode right now, a lot of people, and especially a lot of emotionally damaged people are going down rabbit holes. This kind of suggests that some of the rabbit holes that people are going down, it's real.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, because Jesse Plemons' character, when the movie opens and you see him with his beehives and it's, and the flowering and
yes.
the life cycle of a bee, and it's like, oh, this is so sweet. And, you can hear birds chirping,
Yep.
And then you see, the means of how he lives. And then you meet his cousin who's off, amazing.
Yeah,
amazing
great actor. Great
that guy,
performance.
Aiden Delvis. This is his debut film.
Oh, he's terrific.
To the point where I thought that maybe he really is challenged a little mentally, in real life.
Right.
He was incredible. So I love the kind of analogy of the bees and what they represent. And I mean, and because he was talking about like the injustice, like where are the bees? Like
right.
They're no longer here. And that's all connected to the pharmaceutical company and all the chemicals that they were using. And the bees, they're the working people. They represent the workers.
Yes,
they're worker
sure.
bees, and they work so hard. And
right.
then all of a sudden they just go away. And I mean, just all of the themes in this film.
Right.
It was brilliant.
I also think that in this, I'm not going to be political at all. I know what you're saying in terms of democracy, all that. But it's this idea that mankind is sort of undoing itself.
Mm-hmm.
We're sort of undoing ourselves. There's so much fighting. There's so much disagreement. There's, gigantic corporations doing all kinds of stuff. There's wealth inequality. There's paranoia. There's conspiracies. There's neglecting the environment. The idea that we're undoing ourselves. And this race that controls us, these aliens, could just pull the plug at any moment.
Right. Right.
So I get totally what you're saying about this. It is disturbing the way it ends. And by the way, I thought he's super creepy the way he went to so many different places and situations to see dead people.
Yes.
At the end of that movie, it's like you're right. It is depressing.
Oh my God. And all the deaths. I mean, they were, I started to be like, oh my God, he did that death, like people, in the middle of having sex, surgery.
Yes.
I mean, it was unbelievable. And the song that played, is that all there is?
Oh, is that all there is was playing?
Is that all there is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, it was that.
That is all there is, by the way.
I want to make sure I'm correct on that. I'm almost positive it was the song at the end of the movie because it was so brilliant.
And while you're looking that up, I just want to say, Emma Stone is she's one of the youngest people to ever have 2 Academy Awards, and it would not surprise me to see her win here. And Jesse Plemons, this would be a second nomination. I think excellent and could definitely win. He is fantastic. The performances are just amazing in this movie.
Oh, they were incredible. Okay. Song at the end of it. Oh, no, sorry. Where Have All the Flowers Gone?
Oh, okay.
Where Have All the Flowers, which was so perfect because, it was just, when you think of kind of like the 360 of the movie with the flowers and the flowering and everything. And then you see all these dead people. It's like, where have all the flowers gone? Yes. It was kind of like, where did all the bees go? And now it's like, where did all the people go?
All the people go, exactly.
I mean, it was just, yeah. And I tell you, man, she takes on some meaty roles, boy.
Oh, yeah.
And she's his muse. I mean, she's been in 4 of his films.
Yep.
Yeah, she really is. She really is a force to be reckoned with. She's amazing, and of course, Jesse Plemons, I just love.
Begonia is at this moment, and there are basically all the good fucking movies come out this time of year. You got to wait until the end of the year to see a movie. This right now is my favorite movie of the year because it had that holy fuck moment. I got home and Juan said, "So how'd you like it?" And the only word I could think of was astounding. Mm-hmm. It's an astounding movie. Because I never saw any of it coming. Unbelievably original. Stuck with me. And absolutely recommend Bugonia. It is in theaters all over the place now. All right. There you have it. There's 4 movie reviews, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So what are you watching on the television right now?
I am watching The Diplomat.
Okay. We're going to talk about The Diplomat.
Yes.
Maybe next week.
I watched another documentary that I really liked about Stiller and Mira that Ben made with his sister.
Okay.
And that was really, really he did an amazing job. He's a great filmmaker. And the footage. That's one other thing I want to talk about say about the John Candy movie.
Yes.
The footage. Because, I'm working on my documentary.
I know.
It's all about, we have to be very creative because we don't have as much footage of our star character as these guys did, but I have footage envy. I mean, the footage that they had in John Candy film was amazing, and Ben too. I mean, because Jerry Stiller saved everything. So that was really good. But I'm talking I'm trying to think of
have you started Pluribus?
I watched 2 episodes, and that is insane.
That's a mindfuck.
Holy shit.
It's like nothing. I mean, we'll do that one next week too. Because that is...
Oh my God.
It's not at all what I expected. I knew absolutely nothing going in. 0. I didn't want to know a thing. And I'm telling you, the opening episode was so fucking creepy. I was just like, whoa.
Whoa. I needed Cliff Notes.
Yeah, exactly. It's fantastic.
I was talking to a friend of mine, after I left Begonia, I actually talked to her right when I was in my car leaving the movie, leaving the theater. And, she asked me, did you like it? And I said, I did. I said, but it was very depressing. And we were both having a conversation about, we want to laugh. We want to see funny movies. We grew up with so many funny movies. Yeah. Every year you waited for a Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, something to make it something fun.
I just want something fun. Everything is so dark. Everything I watch is so dark.
Yeah, and I don't know what the hell is out there that has been fun this year. I'm just looking at my list of movies. I saw actually kind of fun. There's a movie called Good Fortune with Keanu Reeves that I thought was pretty fun.
Oh,
about an
okay,
angel.
yeah.
It's cute.
With or was it what's his name?
Seth Rogen and Aziz
and so
Ansari.
what's his name? Ansari, yeah.
Yeah, him. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that was... Oh, Roofman. That's the most fun movie of the year. Roofman.
Really?
Yeah,
it looks
Roofman.
So silly.
It is so good. You wanted fun. It's fun.
Okay.
Yeah, Channing Tatum is awesome. Kirsten Dunst, who, by the way, is married to Jesse Plemons, is terrific.
Okay.
I think that's a really fun one to watch. That'll go down as one of my favorite movies of the year.
Really?
Roofman.
Wow.
It's just fun. I would recommend it to everybody from my 83-year-old mom to my 16-year-old niece. I would recommend it to anybody. It is just a really fun movie.
Okay. I don't know. I saw the trailer and went, I won't see that.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
All
right.
What's weird is not a lot of people did. Unfortunately, the movie, the box office right now is terrible.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing they were saying about One Battle After Another, too. It's like...
Lost money.
Yeah, Yeah,
lost money. It was a $150 million budget, which is crazy.
And it's such a brilliant film, that a lot of people aren't going to see, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. All right, there you have it. There's your Culture Pop podcast. Thank you very much, Subalu. It's great seeing you. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the show on Apple and on Spotify. Leave us a rating and a review, hopefully a good rating and a good review. Also, YouTube. You can leave a comment down below on the screen anytime you want. React to any of these movies. Did you love them? Did you hate them? We'll get your comments on that. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you next time on the Culture Pop podcast.